Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is VlogsBoutNothin. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy night to join me. I really appreciate that, and I say it every night because I mean it. You feel me? And if there's one thing you take away from VlogsBoutNothin, take that away. You feel me? Because sometimes we get a little into some of the things that we talk about. And in fact, unfortunately, this video tonight is a complete bash on the city of Albuquerque. Okay, so here it goes. And once more, thank you for your time. I really do appreciate you guys joining me here on Vlogs About Nothing. But okay, so as of like 9 minutes ago, link in the description below. Albuquerque today or sometime this week apparently was working on going backwards some more. Okay, so if you are not familiar with how Albuquerque's set up, think of Denver, Los Angeles, Phoenix, only way smaller, way smaller, and a big part of the town is just comprised of, I mean, the whole state is comprised of Uncle Sam's workers as it concerns. They're everywhere. There's many military bases, as well as the University of New Mexico, which is the biggest employer here in the state. And so yeah, we are one of the largest oil producers in the entire nation, but I'm not sure where that oil money goes. Regardless, the city of Albuquerque is debating whether or not to roll back minimum wage increases for restaurant workers. Okay, I mean, at some point, you understand all you grumpy old boomers out there and all of the people, restaurant owners, just owners alike, who find that it's somehow, their responsibility to exploit the workers in their community and then for us to feel bad about them. I think that's kind of insane, right? I mean, it's I don't not a psychologist or anything, but I feel like that's insane. I feel like when large corporations or mom and pops, that have been open around for 50 years, well, if you've been around 50 years, why are you complaining? Be around another 50. I mean, isn't that why you're in the like industry? I mean, are you in the industry because you want brownie points? Do you want a pat on the back for doing your job? Like, hey, Mr. Restaurant owner, thanks for doing your job. I really appreciate it, yeah, like I don't insanity and then being clear-headed, so I mean, Albuquerque has a terrible legacy of just treating everybody that lives here like garbage. And it's unfortunate because there's a lot of good people here in Albuquerque. There's many good people here in Albuquerque. I'll even include all of the newcomers that are coming to Albuquerque from all different parts of the country. I mean, holy potatoes, it's because of you guys that prices are increasing everywhere, all around town. I just met somebody recently who's paying $2,400 to live in a two-bedroom condo in the middle of one of the worst neighborhoods in all of Albuquerque. So, I mean, I'm just the guy who's many generations from here and who grew up here. I wouldn't be the person to listen to, I guess, when it comes to that. I hope you can sense the irony. But hey, seriously, listen, like, we're not doing that, right? I mean, as a private proprietor of a restaurant, we don't got time for it. You feel me? Like, if you don't want to serve food, don't serve food. If it's too expensive, like if that's the whole thing, then just close down. Stop making it like a problem for everybody else. Seriously. It's bothersome and it's insulting because the people who work in your restaurants are working actual human beings who live paycheck to paycheck in most cases so that they can live their lives. Okay? Seriously. Like, it's done. It's over. Like, why on earth would you roll back minimum wage increases? Like, I don't even know if that's constitutional. Like, yeah, let's just roll back parts of laws that we don't find appropriate because we're too cheap. Because the 800% profit margin that the restaurant pulls in every 30 days isn't enough. We need to feel like we need to make the restaurant owners more money because they want that pat on the back, right? They not only want the money, they don't want just the stability. They don't want a job or a functioning sort of paycheck to accomplish to, put into the economy. They want like us to feel bad for them. So right, I mean, is that the whole thing? Boomers, like Gen Xers, you want us to feel bad for you because you opened up, Uncle Tito's Cafe down the street, and you're for some reason you're now having difficulty operating when nothing has changed, the volume of the people that you get, the amount of food that you serve, but yet now because chicken went up $2 a pound and minimum wages increased $1 an hour for your 8 employees, just by some basic math, you're kicking out an extra $64 a day. I mean, I just, yeah, let's, because we're charging restaurants not even $100 extra a day in wages, that makes it so that the Big Mac, the number one at McDonald's, is $18. I mean, what are we selling here? Are we trying to pay for one single employee's hourly wage with one meal? And if that's the case, then have you ever been to a restaurant? Many people eat there. So I mean, overhead is electricity. I mean, I don't understand where all of the BS arguments come from as it concerns all of these restaurant associations and all of these private entities. It's sort of like, go out of business. No one will miss you. Seriously, stop playing that card, cuz it's insane. And young people and middle-aged people, guess what? I know it sounds crazy. I know it even may sound more crazy than y'all wanting people to become brainwashed and insane. People don't want to be insane. You know what I mean? Straight up. So again, I mean, yeah, let's keep trying to explain to the future of the world why we only want to pay them $3 an hour for their work. Seriously, we're the richest country in the world with the most selfish kind of people that run the private businesses here that make us all look bad, right? Yeah, seriously. Whatever, right? Whatever. Good luck to all those restaurants. Seriously. You guys, let the market speak for itself. I mean, I don't wish bad on anybody, but I do, in fact, hope that, free markets treat those of us that are treating the free market in kind of a way, the way that they have been treated. You know what I mean? Kind of like that golden rule kind of a thing, because you're not getting anywhere. I mean, seriously, what an old, insane, stupid argument. I couldn't even read the article. Again, link in the description below. But anytime you have some propaganda pushing representative of some restaurant association, seriously, I'd rather talk to a tobacco lobbyist. At the very end of it, at least, maybe I'm not down with it, seriously, because, again, people know tobacco is bad for you, right? You know that, right? You know that going in. What you don't know, what they like to make you think, is that, for some reason, because minimum wage goes up a couple bucks, value menus are all of a sudden $5 extra. What audacity. You feel me? That's some straight, yeah. It's just, I'm showing a lot of courage there, buddy. So, all I'm saying is that the town of the city of Albuquerque, whatever. Do you just let all the restaurants go away? You don't think people know how to cook? The only people that are going to be upset are the people that, don't want to cook and, exploit delivery service drivers for all of their work. And, I mean, it's just sort of if not taking advantage of people in one way, you look for another way to take advantage of them. And that isn't inherently, the right thing to do. There's no kind of moral defense to that. And, in fact, you guys look like some, kids on a playground arguing about, who has the most chips in their lunchbox. It's insane. It's insane. And I would very much appreciate not being at all involved in any kind of debate that concerns me advocating for working class poor people to get less money. Again, holy potatoes. You get, again, lady from the restaurant association, I hope they're paying you well. And obviously you have no conscience. So, there's that. I wonder what kind of Karen you are. When you go in to get food at fast food places, are you reminding the worker that lives paycheck to paycheck that the reason food prices are going up is because you have to pay them $2 more an hour, and for some reason that makes you really upset? I mean, do you own the restaurant? I just, again, there's crazy and then there's cray cray. And I mean, I don't know. I get crazy when I put salt on my potatoes. You feel me? But I don't believe in getting cray cray, only because it's a little too much for me. I already live in this very, very crazy world, so I mean, it's sort of like I'll take it as it comes, but if I could make my own decisions and had a little bit of free will, I'd keep the craziness to a minimum. You feel me? But that's all I'm saying, is that the city of Albuquerque is a terrible place. If you're a worker here, quit your job. Don't go to work. Don't let these fools pay you $10 an hour. I mean, seriously? We're gonna, depend on the kindness of our customers that are being exploited by the restaurant, and then we want our customers to feel bad that we're being exploited for serving them by our restaurant, but somehow it still is a service. We want you to feel good about it. We want you to feel so good that you make the owners feel like they're rock stars. I mean, have you seen a local restaurant owner anywhere? It's like they act like little rock stars, They're like walking around. It's like, dude, go home. Why do you own a restaurant that you're working at? I don't understand. And then you'll get that whole thing, right? And again, from nobody else other than old school Italians and real chefs will I buy this from. But the excuse is, well, I gotta get it done, it's like, dude, you've never owned a restaurant in your life. You got this because your parents died, left you some money, now you're in the restaurant game, and now you're here making everybody's life terrible, complaining about paying two people. It's insane. Okay, seriously. In fact, I dare argue that it would be so much easier to just pay people what they're deserved and let the business speak for itself. If you sell enough products to stay open, you stay open. And if you don't, you close. Take this from a many times over failed so far restaurant entrepreneur. The food game is tough, but I'm not out there. Our company didn't survive because we decided to pay our guys $10 an hour instead of 20. Look up Cups of Enchantment on Facebook. We started everybody out at $20 an hour. So again, I'm not just saying these things. I feel this way, and I feel like it's an insult. I seriously feel like that. Forget the restaurant owners here in Albuquerque. Seriously. I mean that. To all of them. Because the good ones already know how business is done, and they know that they're not a part of it. But if for somehow you're watching this video and you take a little offense to the fact that I'm calling you a terrible restaurant owner, well then hey, there might be some truth to that, right? Because you're complaining about paying your staff $2 extra an hour to get their job done. Seriously. There's working poor people who pay more on fees to cash their check because they don't have a checking account. The world doesn't revolve around Mr. Restaurant Owner who, somehow thinks that because of the capital investment, they deserve human beings as their slaves, right? That's not the way it goes. And if you want to do like that, hire some robots, get creative, take advantage of your family, do things that are within the realm of how evil people function, because bringing normal working class poor people into situations that compromise the only integrity they have is straight up evil. Okay? That's all that it is. It can't be said anything else, and it's absolutely irrefutable. So, I'm not an economics teacher, thank goodness, but I do have common sense, and I do know that if we continue to support restaurant owners who don't want to pay their staff a fair wage, then fine, so be it. See you later, alligator. I come from a place where, when you're losing on the basketball court, people bring out the keys. You feel me? It's time to go home, so that's what I do. If I had a pair of keys right now, I'd be go home, because, nobody cares. All right. You guys have a really good night. Thank you for taking the time out of your night to join me. Link in the description below. Again, shame on Albuquerque. Again, what is it with you? Why do you continue to treat the people that live here like garbage? I'm not okay with it. I don't know what makes you think that it's okay, but seriously, stop, because it's not cool. And if you don't stop, then hopefully all the restaurants will close, and all of these owners who complain about not making enough money will finally be put in a situation at which they have to do something for themselves. Okay? So, like, I'm sorry I'm a bad guy for the one that's saying it, you know what I mean? But adults out there, be adults. Seriously, stop being children. Be grown ups. If you're in your 50s, act like you're in your 50s. If you're in your 60s, act like you're in your 60s. Be appropriate. You know what I mean? Like, instead of exploiting other people for your own gain. I just can't be more clear than that. And I don't give two front doors how many old people are going to absolutely hate me for saying this, because again, only the ones who are evil will take any offense to the way that I'm speaking, right? Because the ones that are doing it right are always going to do it right, and shout out to them, right? They're actually in the industry because they know what it takes to be in that industry. And again, it's just, it's silly. I'm done. I'm done with the silly talk as it concerns all of the privileged people who don't understand what it's like to have nothing. And if they say they do, they're even worse off because they're the ones driving the nice cars, living in the nice homes, complaining about all of the problems that normal people couldn't even begin to imagine to have, right? So I hope that you guys have a really good night, all right? Bye.